in the room that did something, maybe he said, I like it on the lower end, but don't do anything illegal. We can go back and forth. But the one thing that's undeniable is Spygate. And the one thing that's also undeniable is that he directly benefited from that.
Okay. Yeah, back to your Astros analogy.
Yes.
Were not all the Astros, when they went to bat, were they not directly involved in the cheating scandal? Did they not have to participate in it?
Yeah.
Right? So they had to actually do it. They had to take part in the cheating.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't argue that Brady didn't benefit because I believe, as the great Don Shula once said, that it's Bella cheat. And he got accused, remember, first 2 Super Bowls of actually taping walkthroughs on Saturday. It would have been the Rams and the Panthers.
Correct.
Accused by both organizations publicly. Even Marty Herney, now he's back to being the GM of the Washington football team, but he was in Carolina at that point, went on the radio and talked about how we were convinced they taped our walkthrough.
Right.
I don't know if that's true or not, but they got accused of those 2.
And his disciple lost his job in Denver for doing the very same thing in London to the San Francisco 49ers.
Josh McDaniels.
That is correct.
Who's now up for the Eagles job. Okay, so do I believe it came from the top, from Belichick? I do. Did Brady benefit? I can't argue that he did not benefit, but did he have direct involvement in the cheating? Because this is just me. If we can fast forward to Deflategate, I will go to my grave believing Tom Brady didn't know anything about the inflation or deflation of footballs. All I know is that he was on the record way before Deflategate. He liked his footballs inflated to the low end of legal.
Right.
The low end.
Right.
Well, that's okay because most people would like it. I think Aaron likes his balls a little tighter.
A little tighter.
Okay. Yeah. I got it.
14, well, we like it. I think 13 is the low. 13 and a half is the lowest you can go.
All right. So that'll be interesting on Sunday. Will they, you know, we're in the realm, in that region of legal, wonder where those balls will feel to Tom Brady.
Right. And then you got to get into all this, okay, the cold weather and the deflation of the football because
it's called the ideal gas law.
Right.
Remember that from Deflategate?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just me. And I'm a Brady fan. I don't know Tom Brady. I've just known a whole lot of people who do know him very well. Not one of them could remotely come up with a reason to believe that he cheated on the footballs. And all I know is that the great Peter King of Sports Illustrated fame and Monday Morning Quarterback fame offered to step down from his position because he felt like he had leaped to a false conclusion about the deflation of the footballs, incriminating Brady.
Right.
And he later concluded on his Monday Morning Quarterback column that the NFL had such flimsy evidence that it was almost laughable, the case that they tried to make against Brady. Well, obviously, it went to one round of court, the district court in Manhattan, Judge Berman's court, remember that?
Yep.
And Judge Berman just threw it out, and he laughed openly in his findings at the NFL, saying you have no case against him, and he threw out Tom Brady's suspension. Well, then, of course, the NFL, being the NFL, it went to the appeals court, and he lost it, and it got reinstated, the 4-game suspension, at the appeals level. And then all of a sudden, they're coming up on OTAs, and camp is right around the corner, and Brady, according to people I know very close to him, finally said, you know what? We spent a ton of money here, some of it from the Players Association, and I have spent a ton of my time on this, and it's time for football.
And he knew it was an unwinnable case because of Article 46.
Okay, and they had even thought about trying the Supreme Court on this, but you want to talk about a long road?
Yeah, you talk about the Hail Marys of Hail Marys.
It's a Hail Mary, but again, he thought he would have a chance to win it, but it was going to take too much of his focus and energy away from, here we go, let's go play football.
But Skip, this is what we found out about cheating. If the fans like you, they're more apt to...
I agree. Yeah.
You look at Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire.
Good one. Yep.
Barry Bonds of pariah. Mark McGwire done got job after job after job. Andy Pettit and Roger Clemens. They did the exact same thing. It reported they took the exact same... They love Andy Pettit. Don't he got a statue out there in Monument Park or something? Got a plaque out there? And Roger Clemens can't even get a vote. Roger Clemens was, even if you believe he did it, he was still arguably one of the 5 or 6 greatest pitchers before he started doing it.
I know, but Andy Pettit was core 4 of the Yankees, remember?
He cheated.
Okay.
He could be core 2.
Yep.
But he cheated.
I'm with you.
But see, if we like you, we're more apt to forgive your transgressions.
I agree with that.
If we don't, no matter what you say, there's not enough apologies. If you had 1,000 tongues and said, I'm sorry, that's not enough.
Okay, so what was the proof in the pudding on that fateful night, that Saturday? I believe it was was it a Saturday night game? It seemed like it was the AFC Championship game.
It was Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday game.
It seemed like
AFC Championship was always on Sunday.
I know it was, but anyway, I remember watching it.
It was a night game because they played the Colts.
Okay, that's correct. Okay, so it's Colts at Foxborough.
Correct.
And they had played a game in week 11 in which they got blown out and they were suspicious of the footballs.
Right.
So Ryan Grigson, then the GM of the Colts.
Somebody intercepted the ball. And he said it felt really
weird to them. Okay, the same guy intercepted 2 balls in that game.
Right.
So now we go to the...
That's DeQuell Jackson. That's what it was, DeQuell Jackson.
Okay. All right. So we go to then the championship game, and it's 17-7 Patriots at halftime. And that's when the referee, Walt Anderson, came into the ballroom, where the balls were stored, and measured them against what he had measured, he said, before the game.
Right.
Well, then the ideal gas law kicks in because it's so cold outside, that they're going to lose some of their inflation. Okay, so for no matter what got proved or not proved in that room at halftime, the balls were then properly inflated to whatever they should have been. So they were legally inflated footballs in the second half.
Right.
Brady goes 12 of 14 for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns, and it turns into a 45-7 game, from 17-7 to 45-7.
I said Brady could have been throwing a bowling ball. They were just better than the Colts.
Okay.
Now,
but clearly he had zero problems throwing a quote-unquote legally inflated football.
But here's the thing. He did something that guilty people don't normally do. He destroyed his phone. That's what got Secretary Clinton in trouble when she destroyed the emails. If you ain't got nothing to hide.
He said he does it regularly, and it came so far after the fact he had destroyed that phone, but he said he turns them around consistently.
I don't destroy, I keep mine. Well, I don't turn it back in. I pay full price. You never get mine and get my information up off there.
Okay.
I don't trust you.
Okay.
I got from the brick, Skip. You remember they had the Motorola, the big brick? I got the big brick, the little medium size, the StarTech. I got them all the way down.
Okay.
Keep all mine.
All right, but you're not married, right?
No. Hey, man.
All right.
See, there you go, Skip.
I'm kidding. Okay, so back to Tom Brady. So then he goes to the Super Bowl 2 weeks later. And yet, what happened in the off week on Saturday, what did Bill Belichick do to him?
He
called his own press conference, unbeknownst to the Patriots. He said, I'm going to do a Saturday press conference, which he would never, ever do.
Right.
And he threw him under 10 buses.
That was no bus. That was a dump truck.
That was a dump truck. He threw him under the dump truck. And he said, you're going to have to ask my quarterback about this because I don't know anything about this.
Ain't nobody asked you about that.
He said, I'm not an expert in football measurements. I would beg to differ. I think he knows every last inch and ounce of everything about professional football.
Well, he says, he wets them up, he soaks them up, he freezes them up. That's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah,
yes,
that's what he said he does.
Okay. And he even reached for this line. I would not say I'm the Mona Lisa Vito of the football world as she was of the car expertise area. Do you remember my cousin Vinny?
I do.
Where she testified.
Yeah.
No, it was...
that's a name, and her real life name.
No, it was Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei, you're a friend. She won Oscar.
The Oscar for it. But anyway,
rightfully so.
Okay, so my cousin Vinny is about her testifying about her car, because she knew everything about classic cars. She knew it down to every last measurement. And Belichick saying, don't call me Mona Lisa Vito, right?
That feature wasn't added until a year later.
Okay, yeah, right. Okay, so he went so far as to say, don't incriminate me, you have to incriminate my quarterback, right?
Because, Skip, they had made it abundantly clear with Spygate, because a lot of people was upset, because what I was told that what they had on Spygate, it went farther than the 8 games. And he was told to destroy those tapes. Do not let those tapes get out.
Okay.
If you ever do something like this again, it's over for you, bro.
Yep. Well, that's what it was. And then...
Okay. It's him.
Okay, so I got it. So then once more, then Brady goes to the Super Bowl, which that year was at Phoenix, if you recall.
Yep.
And against Seattle Legion of Boom in the fourth quarter, they're down 24-14, and with quote-unquote legally inflated footballs, it didn't bother him a bit because he throws for 124 just in the fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and they rally to win thanks to, obviously, the last play of the game, Malcolm Butler. But my point is, you could see that Brady had no trouble throwing a legally inflated football. It wasn't like you could see a supreme advantage or disadvantage where he was suffering from throwing properly inflated footballs.
You know, Skip, but again, it goes back to the situation. And I'll give you a perfect example. You remember in the Super Bowl how much criticism Cam got for not jumping on that football that was on the ground?
Yeah.
First play of the game in the Pittsburgh game, what did Big Ben do? Big Ben ain't jumping on it. He comes to the football right there. Big Ben could have jumped on it. Ain't nobody say nothing.
Okay, and?
If you like you, Skip.
Oh, okay, if they like you.
Skip, we ain't gonna say nothing about that. He couldn't have got the ball. He probably was gonna come out anyway. That's just the way it worked. They like Brady. Look, like I said, did Brady have direct knowledge of this? Did Brady direct? He didn't order the code red.
Yep.
But he benefited from the code.